I hear it all the time. I'm looking to move to Austin, Texas, but I don't know where I want to live. And even worse, you don't know where to start your search. Well, if you're focusing your search in South Austin or you're open to moving to South Austin, important to know that not all South Austin neighborhoods are created equal, which begs the question, which are the top South Austin neighborhood? Now, after helping dozens of families relocate to the area and living here myself, I'm going to share my top 3 picks for this year for neighborhoods in South Austin. These are based on value. You're going to see some very attractive home prices and a tax rate you're not going to find anywhere else. If you got kids, schools, you're going to see which neighborhoods have the top tier schools. And then of course, investment potential. Which neighborhood will your dollars be the safest in? We're breaking it all down today. Let's go ahead to neighborhood number 1, which is our value pick. Alrighty, so we are going to kick off our list of top South Austin neighborhoods with our budget-friendly and value pick, and we are in the Hills of Bear Creek. Now, I do have a confession. Hills of Bear Creek technically isn't in Austin. It's got an address that's Manchac. Now, if you're not from around here, you look at it, you might pronounce it Manchaca. You better sound like a local or people are gonna look at you crazy. So, and that location is one of the things I'm gonna share in just a bit, which could be the reason why you decide to move to this area. The other one is the tax rate. I'm going to blow you away when I share what the tax rate is in this neighborhood. Really hard to find anywhere around Austin. So here's the thing with Hills of Bear Creek. It's a smaller community, great little neighborhood vibe, and still some new construction options. As a matter of fact, the model home for Milestone, who's the builder in this neighborhood, is right behind me. So when you're buying in here, you're looking at a house that's fairly new to potentially brand new, all at a great price point. And one thing I highly recommend to do after watching this full video, if this is a neighborhood out of our top 3 that speaks to you, we actually did a new construction tour and checked out a couple of the, well, we looked at the model home, but checked out one of the inventory homes, which is not available anymore, but it'll give you an idea of what you can expect if you want to land in this neighborhood. So I'm feeling truly patriotic right now. If this doesn't speak to you, we got the white, this isn't really a picket fence, but we'll call it a white picket fence for the purpose of the video. You've got your Texas flag, your United States flag, all flying, the wind's blowing, it's breezy. Here's why this neighborhood is a great landing spot for so many people. Now, you talk about convenience, and a lot of people look at convenience and think convenience to downtown. Now, you can get downtown in about 20 minutes, which is great, but being in this location, you hit 1626 right down the street, and it'll take you to Buda, to Kyle, and then if you go north, it takes you to Austin, but also on Manchac Road, it basically turned into what's some people refer as to like the mini Rainy Street. Actually, it's an expanded Rainy Street. So many bars, breweries, restaurants have landed on that row right there. So there's really so much to do around here, but it does have this quiet, peaceful feel. Lots of trails in the neighborhood. A lot of the houses back to Greenbelt, so they're super quiet. You really get your pick of the litter when you're coming into a neighborhood like this. So style of home-wise, what you see behind me, a lot of the Texas stone, a lot of the brick facades, pretty standard houses. A lot of the houses in here, you'll notice, also have solar panels. It's not something that comes standard, but something that you can add on if you want to be a little bit more energy efficient. Now you're probably wondering, okay, everything sounds great. You can get new construction, you can get resale homes, but what am I going to be paying in the neighborhood? Well, over the last year, you're looking at around a $494,000 median sold price in the neighborhood, which again, might seem on the high end, but given all those things I told you, I'm gonna take you over the amenities in a second, but location-wise, the tax rate, which I'll reveal to you right now, 1.6% is the tax rate in this neighborhood, which is pretty much unheard of anywhere in this area. You're probably looking at, if anything, high ones, but mostly twos. When I share the tax rate of the next neighborhood, that might be a reason why you say, I don't know if this is the neighborhood for me, but 1.6 is really hard to beat. You're looking at around 400s to low 600s from a range of price. So this is the best budget-friendly neighborhood that we're going to show you, which is why we chose it in our top 3 neighborhoods in South Austin. One great thing about all 3 neighborhoods that we're going to share today is they all have amenities. Now, this one's on the lower end when it comes to the amount of amenities it has, but right behind me is the rec center, which has a full pool. There's a covered pavilion area. You gotta have shade. If you're in Austin, especially once the heat turns up, which it has decided to do that today, but also throughout the neighborhood, I mentioned lots of trails, but there's parks playgrounds as well as you get deeper into the neighborhood makes it, you know, a lot of families that move here want those things. Building a pool in your own backyard is great, not always economically friendly, especially these days. So having this as a neighborhood amenity is huge. I told you from a location standpoint, one other thing I wanted to point out was South Park Meadows, which is a huge, I guess, what would you call it, big commercial center in Austin, is only about 10 minutes away. As a matter of fact, I passed it on the drive over here, and that's where you'll probably have all your shopping, tons of restaurants and stuff as well. So who is this neighborhood right for? Basically, it's great for, and when I give this list, of course it's not limited to, but these are a lot of our clients that we've seen land here, a lot of first-time home buyers, a lot of people relocating that want to be in or near Austin without that Austin price tag. They want a little bit more of that suburban feel, but still being close to things. That is who is landing here. And if you're a little bit more budget conscious, you want to get more for your money, Hills of Bear Creek could be for you. Now, we're going to take you to a neighborhood that the amenities are going to blow you away. So many great home options. This next community, to me, when you think of like you move there, you're going to meet people, be social, it's definitely why it landed on our list. And then community 3, it's the all around like mecca of master plan communities in the Austin area. So let's go check those out. All right, now before we head over to neighborhood number 2, just a reminder, we created an Austin relocation guide for people just like you that are making the move to Austin and need to learn more about the city before they land here. So check it out. I'll put a QR code right here on the screen. Also, the link is in the description of this video. Download it completely free. Now let's check out neighborhood number 2. Okay, so we showed you our budget friendly and value pick over at Hills of Bear Creek. Now we've taken it east of I-35. A lot of people don't necessarily consider this South Austin, but Southeast Austin, we make the rules for this list. We are in Easton Park, one of our favorite neighborhoods, one of our clients' favorite neighborhoods. And to be honest with you, when I first got into real estate, we heard builders pitch this neighborhood, and I came out here and thought, who would want to live this far away? Well, they've basically built their own town here, and with so much investment and commercial upside in this area, this is why it landed on our list. It's completely transformed. It's basically its own town. Behind me is the amenity center. So the first thing you think of, Easton Park, master plan community, amenities. There's walking trails all throughout the neighborhood. It's a very active community. The amenity center has a next level gym. It's not like a little hotel gym with a couple small weights. You got to see what's going on inside of there. And then they've got a resort style pool. If you look over here, all in this little hub, they've got a massive dog park. Now it's like 1,000,000 degrees outside right now in Austin. So there's no one out there right now, but then beyond that, you can see there's a whole food truck park. In this neighborhood, when you think of, you want to move somewhere, you want community, you want to meet people, there are so many neighborhood events, things going on. As a matter of fact, they have little pocket parks all throughout the neighborhood. All of these things that when they pitched the neighborhood back when it was first just a concept, they said all this stuff was coming. Now that it's come to fruition, we see why so many people have moved here. And when you talk about that investment opportunity, the long-term upside, we have a lot of clients that bought here several years ago and they see that long-term value. So they've kept their houses and maybe moved to another house, a bigger house in the neighborhood, or they've maybe moved somewhere else, but they've kept this property as a rental so that they can hold on to it and ride out the growth. I gave you a rundown on the amenities, future development plans. There's now some commercial being built in the neighborhood, but one of the big announcements last year was an HEB that's landing in Easton Park. So right off McKinney Falls Parkway, there's a new HEB coming over the next year or two. HEBs are built very fast, so once they start getting working on that thing, it's gonna go up and people in this neighborhood are going to love having a great shopping option right here at home, because that's a complaint from a lot of the people that live here is the William Cannon and I-35 HEB isn't the nicest. There is a nicer, newer one near Slaughter Lane, but having one in the neighborhood is going to be a huge plus. So in a second, I'm gonna take you over. There's like a model home row where all the new construction homes are. I'll give you a rundown on what it looks like from a real estate perspective, how to get in here to the neighborhood. But one thing I love about the community is they do tons of food truck nights, concerts, all sorts of community events that really help you get to know your neighbors. And that's one of the biggest pieces of feedback that our clients share with us that live here, is that they meet so many great people, a lot of people that have similar interests to them. You throw the amenities in there, really what made it land on our top list of South Austin neighborhoods. So right behind me is one of those trails I told you about. It leads to a little fountain. Again, just everywhere you look in the community, it seems like there's something active to do, whether it's an area that dogs, you know, they have like the poop bag stations where your dogs can do their business and you can meet your neighbors, or just walk on the trails. But let's talk a little bit about the real estate side of things, how to get into the neighborhood. So the median sold price in the last year was right around $550,000, which is below the city of Austin median, although it's a little bit higher than the greater Austin area. Most of what you're getting in here is either brand new or pretty new. Which is, again, why a lot of people love coming here. You can expect to be in about the $300,000 to $900,000 range, depending on what you're buying. So they've got some condos, some garden homes that are a little bit smaller, no yards, up to 3,000 plus square foot homes that are decked out. That's where you're gonna land in that higher range. And if you walk with me a little bit over here, you'll see there are several new construction builders in the neighborhood. So really, depending on your budget, depending on your design style preference, what you're looking for, you've got Newmark, Perry, Brookfield, Pacesetter, the list, Taylor Morrison's here, so the list goes on, and they've got options pretty much at all of the different price points. We made a video recently highlighting the Brookfield model, which so many people love, and to be honest with you, a lot of our clients have landed in Brookfield homes. They've got a really great product, and they are the developer for this neighborhood. So there's a future phase that has not even been touched, thousands more homes coming that Brookfield owns, and they can decide if they want to develop the whole thing and sell all of their own homes, they can, or they can sell homes to these different builders. So a good little tidbit to know. Now, one thing to keep in mind that maybe might be a reason why you don't want to land in Easton Park. We gave you some of the good on the prices, accessible price point, new construction, but the tax rate is a little bit limiting here. You're looking at around a 2.6% tax rate, which is a lot higher than many other areas in Austin, especially the neighborhood that we just showed you. 2.6, the reason for that is because this neighborhood is in a MUD, a municipal utility district, which is an extra taxing entity that was needed to create all the infrastructure, the water and utilities for the community. So that's why you see that tax rate a little bit higher, but people see the amenities, they see the community, the product they're getting, and look at that as a trade-off. Now, I just drove out here from my office. I've done that drive many times, and it just took me around 20 minutes. When there's no traffic, getting downtown is pretty easy. Now, some people look at it as, I don't need to be, they look at this as like the perfect blend. If they don't need to be out downtown, they've got a lot in the neighborhood here. But if you want to spend a night, go to dinner, hang out downtown, you're really pretty accessible for that. Now, a couple things I'll leave you with about this neighborhood. Clients of ours that have purchased recently in here have gotten insane incentives from some of the builders, and oftentimes the incentives that the builders are advertising, we've been able to come in, we've got great relationships with the sales reps in some of these different model homes, and they've been able to add even more onto that to get these homes sold. So you're in a neighborhood that's got a lot of inventory currently, could be a great opportunity to land with a great investment opportunity, great future long-term investment opportunity. Here's really what we say. This neighborhood is best for those buyers that want potential of future appreciation. They love the idea of having something brand new or newer. They love the active social community element and being in a master plan community with lots to do around it. That's who should land in Easton Park. Alrighty, we have made it to neighborhood number 3 in our top 3 South Austin neighborhoods list. This one is our established / all-around lifestyle winner, I would say, for the 3 neighborhoods, because when you talk schools, convenience, family-friendly, things to do, great real estate options, this neighborhood really is hands down to me one of the best. We are in none other than the Circle C Ranch neighborhood in South Austin. And if you remember in the intro in the video, I told you one of these neighborhoods we have insider trading level knowledge of. Well, this is it, and I'm gonna share the reasons why in just a few minutes. But you talk about first amenities. And when you're looking for a master plan community, we saw some great ones over at Easton Park. That was next level, but this is just more, again, more of an established feel. Right behind me is the Circle C Ranch Neighborhood Park Playground. They redid this thing a couple years ago, but it's not just the playground that is a huge hit for kids here. Right behind me on this side, there's a soccer field. Now this is one of probably 20 plus soccer fields in the neighborhood. You come here on the weekend, there's a lot of soccer leagues, so definitely be careful, choose your weekends wisely, but there's soccer games going on here, and then over in front of where I'm standing behind the camera, there's probably, 15, 20, like I just said, more soccer fields. If you come over here in the sun, I told you this is a brutal day today, so we're not gonna spend too much time in the sun, but there is a basketball court, full basketball court over here, and this just scratches the surface. This is just the Circle C Neighborhood Park. We're talking tons, miles and miles of hike and bike trails, and one thing that's great about this community is it is such a cyclist friendly. Now, if you are a cyclist, I have a hidden gem that I'm gonna share later, but you see a lot of mountain bikers here too, and just people being active. Tons of trails throughout here, so really a great option for anyone that likes to be outdoors as well. So in the neighborhood, throughout the neighborhood, you've got, mature trees, tons of oaks. It's well maintained. You pretty much, throughout the year, you always see people doing landscaping in the common areas to make the neighborhood look nice. Like I said, this just scratches the surface from a amenity standpoint. There are four neighborhood pools throughout the community, throughout Circle C in all the different sections. Now, what I highly recommend for you to do is, after watching this video, if Circle C is the neighborhood that perked your ears up, I did a full map tour, in-depth breakdown of each section of the neighborhood. So I'll link that video in here for you to check out after. Today, I'm just gonna kind of share the reasons why it is the #1 South Austin neighborhood out there. Now, in addition to the 4 neighborhood pools, all the playgrounds and stuff, Gray Rock Golf Course and Tennis Club is right nearby, right in the neighborhood, basically. Full 18-hole golf course, tons of tennis courts, and then you just talk about the convenience to everything. I work downtown. I get to my office when there's no traffic in about 12 to 15 minutes, which I absolutely love. We go downtown all the time to the Lady Bird Hike and Bike Trail on the weekends. If we're going on a date night, we're heading downtown because of how close it is. But it's not just convenience to downtown Austin. You also look at convenience to Dripping Springs and Driftwood, where you'll find a ton more to do when it comes to wineries, distilleries, breweries, or again, just being outside. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to share about the schools, why people love this neighborhood because of the schools, and give you the whole real estate rundown, home prices, what it takes to get in here. But one thing I also wanted to point out was we talked about the events that somewhere like Easton Park does. They do, it's very community centric, very community driven. Well, Circle C does that, I think, on another level. You're talking about food truck nights on Fridays once a month. You've got Christmas events, Halloween events, 4th of July parades, the turkey trot, all things that get people from the community together, get them to meet their neighbors, and just provides fun for everyone in the family. So I want to give you an idea. I told you about a lot of the amenities. We're at one of the pools right now. This is the basketball court. They have this little kind of jungle gym playground. It's actually kind of weird. It's not great for tiny kids. Sand volleyball. There's always people on the weekends out here doing stuff. And then the Olympic-sized pool is behind me. Swimming here is a big thing. This is the Circle C Swim Center. This is where the swim team, another big neighborhood thing, one of my daughters is actually involved in that. And I do have to say, when I talked a little bit about the insider trading knowledge at the beginning of the video, one of the reasons is because I live in this neighborhood and I've been here for 7 years, coming up on 8 years actually. And you might be thinking, oh, well, this is why he chose this as the top Austin neighborhood, because he lives here. And part of the reason is, yeah, I have experience living here, and we've helped so many people move into this neighborhood that share a lot of the same feedback, a lot of the same things that we experience, they experience too. Schools, there's 4 schools that, there's 3 elementary schools that are zoned to Circle C. It used to be just Clayton and Kiker Elementary School, which are both highly rated on great schools. A couple years ago, they opened Bear Creek Elementary School. So now 3 elementary schools in the neighborhood. Goritsky is the middle school and Bowie is the high school. Now, if you don't want to send your kids to public school, they recently just opened a Valor charter school right in the neighborhood. So a lot of people have decided to go there instead of public school. So you really have your pick of the litter when it comes to sending your kid and getting a good education in the Circle C neighborhood. Talk about home styles, real estate, really a wide range. So the neighborhood started to be built in the late 1980s. So you got homes with that style. A lot of them, yes, have been updated, but we still see some homes with those original owners, people that moved in here when the neighborhood was new and they haven't moved since. The newer sections, you have anywhere from homes that were built just up to the last couple of years. Now here's where, when we talk about the other two neighborhoods we went to and then you land here, this could be the limiting factor for a lot of people that might be interested in this neighborhood. So you're looking at a median sales price over the last year at around $800,000. Now, home prices in the neighborhood really range from maybe the mid 500,000 range up to the 1.3-ish million dollar range. You can find a lot of options in that ballpark. Now, you might find one here or there that's a little bit less than that 550, pretty rare now. And homes really can go up to 2 million if you're in somewhere like, say, Avanya Estates. Now, I already mentioned to you, go watch the map video I did of Circle C Ranch because I break all these areas down and what you can expect if you're landing in the different price points. Now, one great thing about living in the neighborhood and just feeling it, experiencing it for myself is we talk to not just neighbors, but a lot of other agents. There's a few groups, private Facebook groups that we are part of, little agent networks, that we hear a lot about homes that are coming soon before they hit the market. As a matter of fact, yesterday I saw a post where there were about 4 or 5 coming soon properties that you wouldn't see. You would be competing with other people if they hit the MLS. So when we talk about that insider trading level knowledge, one great reason if you pick this as your top South Austin neighborhood, contact our team because we have great insight into what homes are doing. We hear a lot of the buzz in the neighborhood. We could share so much with you beyond what you're gonna find on Google, ChatGPT, wherever you're doing your search. Now, we talked about the tax rate in Hills of Bear Creek, which was 1.6, unheard of. Went about a point higher in Easton Park. My house in this neighborhood last year just dipped under 2%. It was 1.9% as the tax rate. Now you gotta remember in Austin, tax rates can change each year, but it's likely going to be in that range right around the high 1s or very low 2s in the coming years, which again makes this a very attractive neighborhood compared to maybe some of the suburbs that are out that have higher tax rates. Now, before I take you over to that hidden gem I told you about, actually I did an Instagram post on it a few months back that went viral. Here's who this neighborhood could be great for. Maybe your family looking to relocate for great schools, for work opportunities, be close to downtown, great option. If you're looking for just community, social events, amenities, you meet your neighbors at the pool, Circle C is the one for you. Just long-term stability and great resale value. Down the line, a neighborhood that's established, that's well-known, that's close to so many things, Circle C is hard to beat. All right, so I've got this series on Instagram and it's things you didn't know exist in Austin, Texas, but you should. Last year, I made a post about what's right behind me that went crazy viral. And it's something that you need to know about, especially if you're living in the Circle C neighborhood. Now, I told you it's a very big cyclist friendly and mountain bike friendly and just overall active friendly community. Well, right behind me is something called the Veloway, and it's a bike and rollerblade only paved trail. It's around 3 miles. It's a big loop. It kind of weaves through the woods. There's signs there that say beware of snakes. Certain times of year, you got to look out for them. But it's such a cool feature to have right in the neighborhood, right in your backyard. And beyond that, across the street from me, there's something called the Ladybird Wildflower Center. Very popular place as well. They do all sorts of events throughout the year. And the Violet Crown Trail is a new trail that's just next here. So some hidden gems that you probably didn't know about unless you have been into the neighborhood and been over here near the Veloway. But another reason why you should consider Circle C as your landing spot. Now, we gave you 3 great neighborhoods today, all with perks for the 3 of them, whether you're looking for budget, future investment, and growth opportunity, or you're just looking for something established that's well-rounded, ready to move in. You could start a great lifestyle today. 3 options for you. So what we always suggest, contact the team. We'll give you insight on other neighborhoods you're interested in, or if one of these 3 to you speaks to you, then we'd love to help with your relocation here to the Austin area in one of these neighborhoods. As always, hope this video was extremely helpful. You got a lot of value, and we'll catch you on the next one.